Babble with Ben.
This podcast is recorded on the lands of the Wurundjeri peoples of the Kulin Nation. I wish to acknowledge them as traditional owners. I would also like to pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and Aboriginal elders of other communities who may be participating today. Welcome to The Babble. I'm your host, Ben Charlie Brown. Once again, I'm really lucky to have two guests on this episode. Teyo Turner is a Kenyan-born, Melbourne-based singer, songwriter and rapper. Johnno Smallman is an entrepreneur, entertainer and the host of Exposure, a music industry networking night that's going to be happening on October the 11th at the Northcote Social Club. In this episode, we discuss their influences, their releases, and the importance of building community, as well as their upcoming appearance at Exposure. This interview was recorded on September the 6th, 2025 at the Igloo, Box Hill Institute. I hope you enjoy my podcast with Teyo and Johnno. Welcome to The Babble, Teyo Turner and Johnno Smallman.
Hello.
Hey.
Now, you two are a big part of Exposure, which is going to be happening on October 11th at the Northcote Social Club, hey?
Yes.
Correct.
So, Teyo, you are a singer and a rapper, yeah?
I am, yes.
And Johnno, how would you describe your part in these shenanigans?
Oh, that's a good question, and that's what I'm here to do today, just tell you, if I can get the words out of my mouth. I am a person with a background in musical theatre and acting, and I've done stand-up comedy, and this all came about via Instagram during the lockdown. So I just needed to network with some of the artists that I'd interviewed. So a little bit like this, but on Instagram Live, not as anywhere as technical as this. And I thought, I really want to meet some of those people. So I ended up creating a little event called Bizzopolis. And we all met at RMIT, I think. We couldn't dance, we couldn't move. We just...
Oh, yeah, the lockdown.
Yeah, because it was just out of one of the many lockdowns. And it was just a place to connect with some people that I wanted to connect, that I thought that were fabulous. And I love music, I love performing, and it kind of came from that and has evolved over the years.
Fantastic. And so, Teyo, you've been in the music industry for a while now, yeah?
Yeah, maybe around roughly 3 years.
How would you describe your music?
Oh, well, I'm a bit of some hip-hop. I like to do some rapping. But other than that, I've got some music that still hasn't come out that is not rap. I tried to venture into some rock music, shocking, rock music. I've got a couple of songs and also country music. So,
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a bit of an open book there.
You're covering a lot of bases there. Yeah, that's very, very different genres to sort of explore there.
Oh, yes, very different.
Who would be your influences?
I've got a huge list. So
Start at the start. Yeah.
yeah. Well, when I was younger, I used to look up to Selena Gomez a lot. She got me into singing and all that. And then, Nicki Minaj came along.
Ugh,
and yeah, the queen. And I just really also love her so much. So I was like, yep, she's influencing me a lot. Her rap at the start was so good. As well as Sia, Adele, they've got this writing, when they write their music, you kind of have to like open the box to know what they're talking about. So yeah, that's some of them. But recently, we've got Doechii and Doja Cat.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, they're giving me a lot of excitement to like write more music and explore my ideas as well. So yeah.
Because they tend to blend those boundaries as well, don't they? Because, I mean, they both rap, they both sing.
Yes. And that's kind of what I'm looking for as well, just to mix music as well as rapping and, open up.
Who do you tend to work with when you make your music?
So I kind of work with a lot of people. I've recently been looking for, I'm African, if you've not noticed, but I'm kind of looking for like more African to mix some of that African music into the modern music as well. But currently I have been working with my friend, Brody and Ace, who have been really good. They have this small studio at their home, which we've been working together. And Kirili introduced me to two of them. So that's been working out great.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. And how did you two meet?
Well, Well, we've met in person for the first time today.
Aha!
And then we've got our pre-exposure party later tonight where we all get together and meet some of the artists. But I noticed, because I'm into a lot of those influences as well, so like your Nicki Minaj, your Doechii, Missy Elliott, you wouldn't believe it, but I am a big fan of hip-hop and rap, rock, but I also love a musical theatre tune, right? So I just love it all. And then I just stumbled across Teyo's Instagram. And I was thinking about interviewing her when I was doing my Instagram platform, and I was like, no, that's fine. I reckon just get her on the lineup for exposure, and I'm going to reach out. And I did, and she was so lovely and receptive. I was like, absolutely, I want to be part of that. And last year we had a female rapper, but also and a male rapper, but different. So it's not just that, typical Australian rapper, without being rude, like the Hilltop Hoods, and I love those boys. But like last year, the male rapper was Iranian, and he had something to say, and I loved that. And he had a different look. And then Jess or Phoenix, she had a whole story of mental health and her battles with depression, and I loved that. And I always want to incorporate some rap, but also I knew Teyo not only just raps, she sings and she does all these different genres. So I was like, yes, I needed her. So I was like, please come. So she was like, yeah, gonna do it. And I can't wait because it's gonna be an experience.
Now we've got, of course, yourself, Teyo, and we've got Vanessa and Luca that we just had on as well.
Vanessa, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I love her, and Luca, yeah.
What other names can you drop?
Wow, I'm going to drop them all, as you would probably know, and I can drop many names. You know me now, Ben. We've got, and you're talking of rock, actually. It would be really interesting for you to meet the boys when we catch up at Iron Sky. They're a rock band. Mike and his band. I interviewed Mike on Instagram. Mike, one of the songs is called Walk Through Fire. It just gets me going every time I hear it, and that was the way that I fell in love with that rock band. And they're old school rock. It's like it gives me like Evanescence kind of everything kind of vibe, and I love to rock out, and I love them. They're also they've done a duet and a song that's coming out soon, and they're going to do it at Exposure with two rappers called Black Shades and Arrogance. So the two boys there, they've already conversed and what have you, and connected. And then we've got Hayes, who not only just does pop, I've recently described him as a pop star, but he does all sort of R&B kind of vibey stuff. We've got Michael K. Oh my God. Seriously, Michael K. needs to also be in an arena tour, like supporting, I think it could support Beyonce. Like he puts on a show. I've seen him recently at a single launch that I ran, and he just brings it. So I'm really excited. And with Vanessa and we've got Lucinda Korst from Evoke Studios or Evoke Sounds, different vibe again, but we're going to finish the night with Ricky Ragga. And Ricky Ragga has performed at Exposure in the past. But it's also, I like to bring somebody back that's been an all-star. Like they've performed a couple of times ago. Now we're going to see some progression. And he got on stage last time at Kindred Band Room. It was just him and a guitarist. Now he's got a whole reggae band. And he's going to finish the night. And I know last time it was just Ricky and a guitarist, and everyone was on their feet at the end, and everyone was like, I think we finished with like One Love or something like that. I don't know. It was a banger. But this time he's got a whole band, and we're going to finish the night on reggae. I mean, what a way to round out the night. I'm too excited. Oh, and then not forgetting, we've got two guest speakers in the industry as well. So Dan Sharney from Evoke Sounds and Zach Abrams from Vice Royalty. So
it's going to be a good mix of... it's going to be a good sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Eclectic. Not a repertoire, it's a roster, a showcase. Yeah, there's going to be a good amount of material, because not only do you have people performing like yourself, Teyo, but you're also going to have people talking about the industry as well.
That's important. That's one of the key differences with other events that are out there. I like to have a spotlight on, someone having a chat. We used to do it where it would be like each person would get up and speak for themselves for 15 minutes, way too long, too boring. We're there for the music, so we do like a 20-minute to half an hour panel. We've had Katie Underwood previously from Bordeaux, Emily Williams, people like that. Music Victoria got up and spoke a bit about Music Victoria and membership there, and so it's things that people want to ask about the industry, or when you were in this super famous band, what was it like, and how is it now when you're not in the spotlight? How do you keep yourself grounded and level and things like that? Just questions about studios and production or managing an artist or getting from this next step. and taking it to the next level, if you like. So just that little bit, because people had questions, and I thought it would be nice just to open it up. And in that point, people can have a wonder, can I have a drink, and engage with the speakers. But it's really then the focus is on emerging talent like Teyo and artists. And not everyone does this full time, which is really interesting, which we were chatting before about. So it's just really nice to bring people onto one stage and connect them all together. And it's kind of a bit selfish because it's like my own private concert. It's got all genres that I love and all artists that I really, really
You're being a bit of a Bob Geldof, aren't you? This is your Live Aid. Yeah.
I know. Sorry. I know. I've got to. I know. I'm a very talkative person, but what do you think? What are you expecting from exposure?
Well, like you said, we've got a lot of genres. Meeting new people as well. Listening to how other people perform on stage with different genres. I know some people have dancers and, dramas and backup singers as well. But yeah, it's just really nice to also watch that as much as you're a performer and see how other people present themselves as much as you try to, present yourself out there too. So yeah, and also meeting new people out in the industry, knowing how they came about into the industry, how they're growing. Because when I came to Australia, I didn't know where to start from. I also don't know what I'm doing, but just going with the flow. And I guess, meeting other people, they might give you kind of like ideas of what to do next and where to go, basically. So yeah, it's basically exposing us to the world.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I have some very similar goals for this podcast. It was me, as a middle-aged music student, wondering, okay, well, all right, well, here I am at music school, right? But that obviously has an end date, right? And what do I do after that? And so I think, yeah, the more I get along in my journey through music, the more I realise, it's so nice to have other people to talk to about your experiences and see how people that are successful do it as well, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what was important, because even though I have an accent, I'm also not from this country, and it's very hard to break into each scene, and I've lived in a couple of different states, and it's always the same people that are championed. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you've had that as well, but like the same cliques, and they're always putting the same people on the lineup. Yeah. And that's no dig or any shade at anyone, but I just thought this is another reason, because we are crossing boundaries and we are bringing different genres together, and not just at ages, Ben, because you just mentioned you said I'm middle-aged. Me too. Well, yeah, we're not middle-aged. We're still young. But, it's creating that for me as well, because I once approached somebody else that, they do shows, and I was like, I'm a great MC. I could do a bit of I could come out and do like a Disney song. I think Luca and Vanessa mentioned Disney earlier, and a character song, and it was like, no, the cutoff age is 26. And I'm like,
ooh.
And then this is a thing. Other people, and I didn't know this because I did some delving the other day, Ben. I don't know if you know. You have to go to these other networking events. You have to pay an annual subscription, or a monthly subscription, or you have to be under 26. None of that with me. Just have to be over 18, want to perform, have a good attitude, and show up. Done. I think that's it. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I think that's a good way to, yeah, because I know that there are some schools of thought that think, the more exclusive you make your event, the more high value the event can be. But I don't know. I mean, I moonlight as a punk rocker, and so I'm very egalitarian in my attitudes as well, right? I'm kind of like, no, man, like even... I remember, when I used to go out clubbing, and you'd find some clubs with a dress code, and I'm like, no, I've got no interest. So I think the way that you're doing exposure, where everyone's welcome, right? That's the way to do it, I think.
Thanks, Ben.
Because as you're talking about, you might have heard of the 80-20 rule, 20% of a particular, group of people get 80% of the, the rewards of it. It's very true. It's very true. The old saying, if it's not what you know, it's who you know.
It is.
That's absolutely prevalent in the music industry. And I was going to ask Teyo, when you came here to Australia from Africa, right? How did you find breaking into the Melbourne music scene?
Yeah, so I mean, music in Kenya and in Australia is kind of a bit different because in Kenya it's you know people, then you kind of get into the music very easily, as well as sort of here in Australia, sort of the same, but same but different. In Australia, it's more of you really got to find it, because when I came to Australia, I didn't know anyone who was in the music industry. I was just blanked out. I was like, where do I start? I can't Google who is a musician so I can ask them about music. Well, I did Google, it just didn't come out. But I started like going for this acting thing, and I came to meet Kirili. I mentioned her earlier. And then she did introduce me to her partner, who was a producer, and that's where I started from. So it started, I guess, from joining other music videos to getting to know people to get into the industry, and also being part of the industry as well. As soon as you kind of get to know other people out there, they're pretty, there's so many people who are very welcoming. They know, oh yeah, you just come into the industry. Oh, I've just seen you. Yeah, come in. This is how you do things. And I mean, people are very supportive here in Australia as well. So it's been good. It's been tough and challenging, but it's still been good.
If you're looking outside into the music industry, it can feel competitive. But when the longer I'm in it, the more I'm like, oh, okay, actually, it's just collaborative. You know what I mean? Like, it's very rare that you've got to get this spot on this festival or something, and you've got to push someone out of the way. Generally, it's like if you have a gig and you're either invited on as the support act, or someone invites you on, or you invite someone on as the support act for your gig, right? You combine the audiences. It's really and same with even this podcast, right? Like, we're all sitting here on the table. People who know you and know me, all get to know the three of us, right? So, yeah, I think, while I was talking about the 80-20 rule, where the top 20% get 80% of the results, right? There's still a lot of room for sharing, I think, throughout the whole music industry, right? And it's good. I really think it's nice.
Yeah. And it's just, I think it's definitely about attitude, but also, like you said before, it's not who you know to what, it's not what you know, it's who you know, and relationships. And that's what I'm a firm believer in, is why there's also a networking element to it, is coming down, because you're also going to find some really interesting artists that you're going to book on your podcast if you want. There are people like the artist that I met outside waiting to come in here that would love to do a podcast, but he also didn't know where to find other musicians and podcasts. I'm like, well, this is what exposure really is about. But it does. It's so cheesy, right? It does offer exposure for everyone that's taking part or a part of it, which I'm really excited about. And having you there as well, Ben. And if it wasn't for, and I guess shout out to the Mystico boys as well, if it wasn't for those, I wouldn't have seen this. And I was like, I'm going to reach out to Ben. And then we went and had a couple of margaritas.
We sure did. And we got sunburned in August.
And the rest is history. We're here now.
Yeah, great. All right, well, look, we'll wrap it up there. I guess now is time for socials. How do people find you?
Well, on all social media platforms, I am Teyo Turner, so Teyo, Turner, Turner.
Great. And you've got I'll get the phone book out for your social media profiles, Johnno. How many we got?
It's Instagram.
What's the best one?
Instagram's the best one, and I have it's not really personal, but it's more about show business, and that's The Biz, double Z, with Johnno, double N. I like double. And then The Biz Presents is the offshoot of that, and that's the event company that runs Exposure.
Speaking of, October 11th at the Northcote Social Club, yeah?
October 11th.
Tickets on sale now?
Tickets are definitely on sale now. Northcote Social. Also, you never know who else is going to be in the room. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I was going to say, it's one thing to hear the stories of the people on stage, but you might as well go and find your next collaborator, at the back row of the audience while you're having a pint. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's always a benefit to being in the room, I find. So, very good. Well, thank you so much for both coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. It's been great to babble with you, Ben.
Thank you. We'll talk about the biz, hey?
Babble
Thanks again.
biz.